Picture this. You're flying to Europe for a big business conference. You land in Amsterdam, but your suitcase doesn't. And the best part? You've got no extra clothes in your backpack, just the shorts you wore on the plane because it was hot. That was me, July 2005, headed to Luxembourg for an internet governance conference called ICANN. My bag didn't show up until the next day, and on the way home, it got delayed again. Back then, luggage trackers didn't exist. You were basically in the dark, just hoping the airline would eventually find your bag. Fast forward to 2021. American Airlines lost my bag, but this time I had a tracker inside. I knew exactly where it was sitting, even when the airline didn't. And that completely changed the game. Hey guys, I'm Matt, and this is Places to Go. If you travel, whether for business, vacation, or even moving abroad, you need to hear this. Because in 2025, luggage trackers aren't just gadgets, they're essential gear. In this video, I'm going to share my lost bag stories from shorts in Luxembourg to chasing American Airlines for a week and show you why I now always travel with both an Apple AirTag and a tile in my suitcase. Plus, I'll give you a few extra tips that can save you when airlines inevitably drop the ball. Let's get into it. So let me take you back to July 2005. I was flying to Luxembourg for ICANN 23. That's the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. In plain English, ICANN is the group that manages how the internet's domain names and addresses work. Basically, if you type in google.com and it takes you to the right place, ICANN is one of the reasons why. This was a professional trip, suit level serious. And I was flying from Greensboro to Philadelphia, then Philadelphia to Amsterdam on US Airways, and finally Amsterdam to Luxembourg on Luxair. Here's the problem. My checked bag never made it to Amsterdam, and I had no backup clothes in my backpack, none. I had flown in shorts because it was hot, it was July, and suddenly I was stuck at a major internet governance meeting looking like I was headed to a barbecue. Fortunately, the bag showed up the next day at my hotel, but that wasn't the end of it. On the return trip, US Airways lost it again. This time it didn't make it back to Greensboro and they had to deliver it to my house a day later. And back then, there were no luggage trackers. No way to know where my suitcase was or if I was ever gonna get it. No app to check it. Just me, completely in the dark, trusting the airline to eventually figure it out. Spoiler alert, they weren't very good at it. Fast forward to November 2021. I went ahead and continued my flight to Greensboro, and eventually my suitcase made it to Charlotte. And here's the difference. From 2005, this time I had a luggage tracker inside, a tile. I could open my phone and see exactly where my bag was, right there in Charlotte. The problem? It stayed there for nearly a week. Every single day I called American Airlines. Their own staff were frustrated too because the Charlotte baggage team just simply would not put it on a 30-minute connecting flight to Greensboro. If I hadn't had the tracker, I would have completely been in the dark, wondering if my bag was lost forever. Instead, I knew exactly where it was. That gave me leverage. I could say, look, I see it's in Charlotte. Why isn't it moving? Now, I still had to buy clothes while I waited, and to their credit, American did reimburse me. But the peace of mind of knowing where my bag was, that was priceless. And that's the moment I realized luggage trackers aren't optional anymore. They're essential. Here's the thing, lost luggage isn't rare. Airlines mishandle millions of bags every single year. It might be delayed by a missed connection, rerouted to the wrong airport, or just sitting in a corner of a baggage room because someone didn't scan it properly. The problem is, airlines don't always know where your bag is. Their systems are outdated, and if you've ever stood at a baggage counter, you've probably heard the phrase, "We're not sure where it is, but we'll let you know when we find it." That's not comforting when you've got work, clothes, medicine, or even just your favorite sneakers in that suitcase. That's why in 2025, luggage trackers are a must. For the price of a dinner, you can toss an Apple AirTag, a tile, or even a Samsung SmartTag into your bag and track it from your phone. They don't stop airlines from losing your luggage, but they stop you from being powerless when it happens. Instead of waiting and worrying, you can tell the airline it's in Terminal C at Charlotte. You can make informed decisions whether to buy clothes, reroute your bag, or push harder with customer service. And honestly, That peace of mind is worth way more than the 20 or 30 bucks you'll spend on a tracker. Now you might be thinking, isn't one tracker enough? For me, the answer is no. I actually travel with 2 trackers in every checked bag, an Apple AirTag and a tile. Why? Well, first, it's about redundancy. These things are reliable, but nothing is perfect. If one fails, the other still has me covered. Second, it's about coverage. AirTags use Apple's massive Find My network. Every iPhone out there helps ping your tracker's location. That's amazing in places with lots of Apple devices, like airports in the US or Europe. But what if I'm somewhere where Android is more common? That's where the tile helps, because it works on a different crowdsourced network that picks up those signals. Third, having both gives me a wider safety net internationally. Different countries, different devices, different levels of coverage. So for a few extra dollars, I get peace of mind knowing my suitcase is being tracked from 2 angles. And when you've been through what I have, standing in Luxembourg in shorts or calling Charlotte every day for a week, that extra backup feels priceless. Trackers are amazing, but they're only part of the solution. There are a few other habits I've learned, sometimes the hard way, that can save you when airlines mess up. First, always pack a change of clothes in your carry-on or your backpack, even just one outfit plus underwear and socks. If your bag takes the scenic route without you, at least you won't be stuck in shorts at a business meeting like I was in Luxembourg. Next, put essentials in your backpack, not your checked bag. Medications, electronics, chargers, travel documents, never risk those going into the hold. And next, use a visible luggage tag. Include your name and email address, but not your full home address. You want your bag identifiable without advertising where you live. Next, take photos of your suitcase before you check it. That way, if you have to file a claim, you can show the airline exactly what it looks like. And next, on that same topic, make your bag stand out. A colorful strap, a unique cover, or even a sticker or two. Or pick a different color than black for your suitcase. It makes it easier to spot on the carousel and harder for someone else to accidentally grab. File a claim right away. If your bag doesn't show up, go straight to the airline counter before you leave the airport. Don't wait until the next day. You want that paper trail started immediately. When you combine these basics with a tracker inside your suitcase, you go from being at the airline's mercy to actually being in control of your own stuff. So here's the takeaway. Airlines will lose bags. They lost mine in 2005 on the way to Luxembourg. They lost mine again in 2021 coming through Charlotte. And I've had a couple of other delays with my bag in the past. But the difference, in 2005, I was completely in the dark. In 2021, I knew exactly where my bag was because of a tracker. Now I never fly without one. In fact, I double up an Apple AirTag and a tile because that peace of mind is worth way more than the cost of a couple of gadgets. Luggage trackers don't stop airlines from messing up, but they stop you from feeling powerless when it happens. And in 2025, that makes them a must-have. So let me know in the comments, has an airline ever lost your bag? And if it did you have a tracker inside? I'd love to hear your story. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe and like button, and don't forget to sign up for my free email newsletter, The Passport. It's packed with tips to make your travels smoother. I'm Matt, this is Places to Go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Take care.